On October 17, 2015, 23-year-old Pritchard Call N was regarded as one of the most promising prospects in Puerto Rican boxing. Undefeated with a record of 16 wins in 16 fights, he stepped into the ring against Terrell Williams in what was expected to be another step toward the top of the sport. Instead, the night would take a tragic turn.
It was really frightening to know that his life could be over tonight.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It was closing his eyes and fading so rapidly.
This is life and death.
Don't go away, preacher. Don't please stay with us.
Everything changed that day.
In today's video, I bring you the iceberg of the worst combat sports tragedies. From the opening rounds, Williams repeatedly landed punches to the back of Call N's head, an illegal target area under boxing rules. The referee issued warnings, but the blows continued throughout the fight. As the rounds progressed, Call N began experiencing alarming symptoms. He became disoriented, struggled to understand what was happening around him, and started losing his sense of awareness. Despite informing his corner about his condition, the fight continued. By the 10th round, Call N was so confused that he mistakenly believed the bout had ended. His team removed his gloves, which the referee interpreted as an official retirement from the fight. The contest was immediately stopped. After leaving the ring, his condition worsened rapidly. He had difficulty walking and told his mother that he was suffering from severe dizziness and vision problems. It soon became clear that something was seriously wrong. The repeated blows to the back of his head had caused a severe brain injury and internal bleeding. Call N was rushed to the hospital, where he was placed in a coma that lasted more than 7 months. When he finally regained consciousness after 221 days, the consequences were devastating. The neurological damage had permanently altered his life. He lost much of his independence and now requires ongoing assistance with many everyday activities. In just a few minutes inside the ring, the future of a young boxer once destined for a bright career was forever changed. Many believe that had the fight continued any longer, the outcome could have been even more tragic. If you think Pritchard Call N's story is heartbreaking, Billy Collins' story is even more devastating. In the early 1980s, Billy Collins Jr. was only 21 years old. Undefeated with a record of 14 wins and no losses, he was widely regarded as one of the brightest prospects in American boxing. The son of former professional boxer Billy Collins Sr., who also served as his trainer, he seemed destined for greatness. On June 16, 1983, he stepped into the ring to face Luis Resto. On paper, the fight was supposed to be an important test in his development, but most observers still viewed Collins as the clear favorite. Resto was experienced, but few expected what was about to happen. From the opening rounds, something seemed unusual. Resto's punches appeared far more powerful than expected. Collins absorbed heavy shots and returned to his corner visibly shaken. According to several accounts, he even told his father that it felt as if he were being hit with rocks. As the fight went on, the damage became increasingly severe. His face began to swell, his eyes gradually closed from the punishment, and blood flowed from multiple cuts. Despite the obvious injuries, the contest continued until the final bell. By the end of the fight, Collins was barely recognizable. The judges ultimately awarded the victory to Luis Resto. What happened afterward, however, would spark one of the biggest scandals in boxing history. As the fighters prepared to shake hands, Billy Collins' father, who is also his coach, noticed something unusual when he felt Resto's gloves. Officials were immediately alerted, and an inspection was carried out. Investigators soon discovered that part of the protective padding had been removed from the gloves. The investigation also revealed that the hand wraps worn beneath the gloves had been tampered with. According to investigators, these alterations significantly increased the force and danger of the punches thrown throughout the fight. The consequences for Billy Collins were catastrophic. Doctors diagnosed serious injuries, including permanent damage to one of his eyes. Medical authorities determined that he could no longer compete as a professional boxer. At just 21 years old, his dream of becoming a world champion was gone. Stripped of the career he had worked his entire life for, Collins fell into a deep emotional decline. Over the following months, those close to him watched as he struggled to cope with the aftermath of the fight. On March 6, 1984, less than a year after that night in the ring, Billy Collins died in a car crash at the age of 22. His father later stated that he believed his son had never truly recovered from the tragedy that ended his boxing career. Years later, Luis Resto publicly admitted that he knew the gloves had been altered before the fight. He also acknowledged that his trainer, the controversial Panama Luis, had played a role in the scheme. Luis, however, maintained his innocence for the rest of his life and never accepted responsibility for what happened. To this day, the Collins-Resto affair remains one of boxing's most infamous scandals, a tragic story that destroyed the future of a young fighter who appeared destined for greatness.